Anthony Hartwig here with another basketball season preview. We're in Hubbard today for the boys basketball coach Ryan Fitch joining us today. Coach, thanks for coming on, talking to us about this program.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate all the coverage you guys do for the area. It's fantastic. So glad to help out.
When you look down the roster, you see a lot of leadership, and I know I hear all those names and I think, oh, that's a leader, that's a leader, that's a leader. What is it like as a coach to be able to have so many people you can lean on to be leaders on the floor?
Yeah, you know what? This is year two is definitely easier than year one. Last year one, we were trying to put in a whole new system, a whole new vocabulary, whole new style of play to some degree. And so I relied on a couple of guys to kind of help me on the floor and be leaders. But like you said, this year I have a lot of experience that we can rely on. And like I said, the newcomers are playing well so far. So everybody kind of brings their own little bit of leadership to the floor. We have guys that lead by example. We have some guys that lead verbally. We have some guys that lead in the classroom. So this is going to be a really fun group of kids to coach.
Year two is a time when you can focus less on trying to establish the culture and establish the philosophy and more on solidifying it now that it's been in place for a year. What's that like for you to kind of be able to focus a little bit more on now trying to execute what you want out of the program instead of just trying to lay out the groundwork for it?
You're definitely right. Like I've already noticed in our first couple of practices, that, I don't have to say as much as I did last year. Everything I was talking about last year was new to them. And now I hear guys on the floor saying some things that I've been saying for a year and a half now and all summer. And so they're starting to take that leadership role too and say, hey, that's supposed to be a curl, not a flare. Hey, that should be a slip. Hey, we got to box out. All five guys got to box. So I'm seeing those things at practice that not only my seniors are saying, but even some of my sophomores and juniors are being able to just say things that I'm about to say, and I hear them say it, and I'm like, this is fantastic. They're starting to pick up on what we expect, our defensive philosophies, offensive reads. So again, the leadership is way different when you got a group returning than first year.
Through the summer and the preseason, I'm sure you get a scope of what this team's going to be good at, and what are the things that you as a coach can try to explore to kind of put them in the best positions to win. What are going to be some of the strengths of this team? Some of the things that you're going to try to really get going on the floor?
Yeah, definitely. One of them, we shoot the ball really well. We have 3 or 4 guys that can knock down threes pretty consistently. So that's going to be one of our strengths for sure. And these guys just know how to play the game a little bit. Like, we're not so robotic. Our offense is about reading screens, and they're starting to learn that, hey, the system is not to get you a wide open shot every time. It's to put you in a position to have a little bit of an advantage on the defender, and then you just got to be able to go make a play. So I think that's another one of our strengths. I can see it happening at practice, and we've scrimmaged twice so far. I can see it happening in scrimmages that we're able to just use the offense to make plays. And that's what the game's obviously about. I mean, you can run sets, you can run plays, you can do what you want to put the guys in the right position, but ultimately they still got to make the play. So shooting the ball, understanding what we're trying to accomplish offensively, and just being able to play out of the system. Defensively, I've never played much zone as a head coach in my 14 or 15-year career, but this group seems to really play man defense pretty well at practice, and we've also been playing a 2-3 zone pretty well. So another strength is we're probably going to be able to mix it up a lot more defensively this year than we ever have.
As we talk about your schedule, let's start with the NE8. We know that conference is always competitive and always very tough. Talk about what you see out of it this year and some of the expectations you have out of the NE8.
Yeah, you know what? Every year we go in and I start with, I look at Poland and I go, well, they lost 4 or 5 seniors last year. This will probably be a down year. And then, it's Poland. And every year I think they're going to be a little bit worse than they were the year before. The guys just seem to step up. Eric's a great coach, and Poland is Poland every year. So, I mean, they're going to be tough. South Range, they lost a few key guys, but they have a good younger group of kids coming up. They're always at the top of the league. I know we scrimmaged Niles a few times this year. They are much improved. Jesse has them playing really well over there. So you're going to see great parity in the league. Lakeview returns 3 starters. from their group. I know they have a new head coach over there, but they've returned 3 starters. Struthers is bringing back some key elements with Estrada and Dukes and Cole. Another new coach in the league, but DJ did a great job at Lowville. Now he's at Struthers. So I mean, and then we have Gerard's in the league, and every year, I mean, Craig has them just rip roaring and ready to go. And we go over there last year, and Gerard beat us at Gerard, and they just totally controlled the game. And that's the thing about this league. You just never know like what's going to happen night in, night out. But all the teams are well prepared. The coaches in this league do a very good job. And like I said, you just never know what you're going to get. And it's a battle every single night. So we got to come ready to go.
When you're playing league games, there's a lot on the line. There's a lot at stake. And then when you go non-conference, it's all about trying to just get yourself better, get yourself ready for postseason. So talk about some of the non-conference teams that pop up, hoping you can do that for your team and get yourselves ready for tournament time.
Yeah, we're going to have a really tough start to the season with we open up with LeBray, and that's been a program that's been successful for the last 25 years. I mean, and you can prepare all you want, and at some point in time, you got to go over and you got to make plays. But Chad does. I mean, he's one of the best in the area, and it'll be a battle with them. They're physical, they're athletic. They got a shooter. The Wilson kid can just do it all. He can get to the rim. He can make the 3. Then we come back the next week. We got to go to Newton Falls, and play against, if not the best coach in this area, one of the best for sure, in Roy. So I mean, the first 2 games right off the gate are going to be tough for us. And our non-league schedule overall this year is really competitive for us, and hopefully that gets us ready to get to the tournament play. And we're hosting a holiday tournament this year, and it's got Liberty, Howland, and Twinsburg in it. So the matchups there are not going to be easy, and we're going to have, like I said, every night this year, non-conference, conference, it's going to be a battle.
Now, normally in a preview like this, we wouldn't really be talking about tournament time, but this year's a little bit different. They've expanded the basketball tournaments. You have more divisions now, a little bit more comparable to school sizes. What kind of doors do you think that opens up for Hubbard to maybe make a run in tournament time?
Yeah, you know what? And when you get to that part of the season, most of the teams are functioning on their highest level. So again, no matter who we draw in the tournament, like last year, we drew Orange, and we lost by 2, had a chance at the end to win it. And it's you just never know what you're going to get at that time. And looking at the different divisions and the different breakdowns, and we're Division 4 now. But there's still some really, really, really good programs in Division 4, locally and out of the area that we could run into. So, until we get to that point, there's not much I can predict as far as what we're going to do. But, at the end of the year, hopefully we're functioning on a high level too, and can go in and compete with anybody we get matched up with.
Have you gotten used yet to saying that you're Division 4? Because before this year, Division 4, you say that you're a smaller school, and that would not be where Hubbard would be placed. And here you are saying,
I know. I've typed Division 2 on different things coming from the media, and then I got to go back and backspace Division 4. So it's going to take some time to get used to saying that.
Coach, we end this the same way every year. We want to give you the chance to talk about your staff and the people that you put in place to help build Hubbard into what you want it to be.
Yes. My varsity assistant's Rick Fox. He's back for a second year. He was the head coach at Hubbard for a lot of years in the early 2000s, and really knows the game, brings a wealth of experience, invaluable experience on the bench. My JV coach is back for a second year, Nate Solak. He's a teacher at Hubbard. Fantastic young mind of the game. He really knows the game of basketball. The things I'm about to say at practice, sometimes I hear him telling younger players. So we are on the same page completely. My freshman coach, Andrew Frank, is a Hubbard alum, was a really solid player for them when he played. Again, freshman level is like probably the worst level to coach at basketball. I mean, I take the best players and put them on JV. He gets late practices, 7 to 8:30 every night. So I give him credit for what he does and gets the most out of those kids. And I'm actually blessed at my middle school levels to have Chris Romano's doing my 8th grade. He was the JV coach at Lakeview last year. So to bring somebody that had basically varsity experience at practice and games doing my 8th grade team. I mean, I can't complain about that. And, Marcus Coons, who does my 7th grade, he's been at Hubbard for quite some time now. He was here before I got here, and I can't say enough about the time that he puts in and gets the most and prepares them for 8th grade. And, Chris will get them ready for freshmen, and hopefully that leads straight up through the program.
All right, Coach, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk about this program and the season ahead. We wish you the best of luck and the Eagles a very prosperous season. We'll be out there covering you guys. We can't wait to see you there and talk real soon.
All right. Hey, I appreciate having on. Again, thanks for all the coverage you guys do for this area. And it's amazing the work that you guys put in and the scores and the stats and the covering of the games. It's truly amazing to me. So I know, at least from my standpoint, I really appreciate what you guys do.
Thanks, Coach.